You know, I really like this song and I really like the way these KEF wireless speakers sound. But they're a bit more wireless today than usual because they're not plugged in. So if the KEF speakers are not plugged in, then where is the sound coming from? Is there a hidden soundbar behind me? No. Is it coming from the Samsung Frame TV? Also no. I don't even know if the Samsung Frame TVs have inbuilt speakers, but if they did, they wouldn't sound very good. So once again, where is the sound coming from? Well, it's coming from behind me. It's from here and here, because today we're going to be looking at Sonance invisible speakers. Being an audiophile, I like to see where my music is coming from, so I don't mind looking at speakers. However, if you are in a small space or you simply don't like the look of speakers, then installed speakers are a good option. However, most installed speakers come with ugly white grills, and sure, you can paint over them, but it still gives me the sense of being in a Kmart, especially if they're ceiling mounted. So what to do? Well, Sonance launched the Invisible series to meet the market need for a speaker that was truly invisible. The products in today's video were provided by The Sound Store. The Sound Store is Australasia's largest single door reseller of Sonos speakers. They are experts in home audio installation and home automation. Their showroom is in Newmark at the corner of Crowhurst and Kent Street. Call them today on 09520 2105 or visit the website thesoundstore.nz. So, on the surface of the speaker, there is a glass fibre woofer coupled to an acoustically inert diaphragm to move a pocket of air like a piston for robust and powerful bass. And up close it feels like a drum. Sounds like one too. So what does this mean? Well, it means that the diaphragm turns the wall itself into the speaker, because this is designed to mount flush against your wall, and then this little lip here, and there is a little lip here, this bit's lower than this bit here, is meant to be plastered over so that you can hide all the screws. You can put a little bit of plaster on the top of the actual speaker, surface itself, but it's only up to a certain thickness. Anyway, what this means is that your entire wall that is in front of the speaker will be the speaker itself. And because it's a flat surface, as opposed to a cone, which is pretty much the design of every other speaker, with a traditional cone, you have a sound dispersion that's like that. It's maybe a 90-degree angle. There are variations on the theme, but it's quite narrowed and focused. This, being a flat surface, means that when sound comes out, it goes out in every direction, meaning that you get a much wider soundstage. It actually has a soundstage of around 170 degrees, which is like that. So it doesn't matter where you are in the room, you'll be able to hear these speakers nice and clearly. And it also means that the sound is distributed around the room much more evenly. Now, the diaphragm itself actually comes in two parts. While it looks like one single part, the part here is like the main woofer, and up the top here is like the tweeter. And you've got the main woofer here and the tweeter up here. It's also worth mentioning that you don't have to plaster over it if you don't want to, or if you don't need to. You can just wallpaper directly over the surface as well.
By the way, notice that the sound comes off when you're running at any...
So how do they sound? Well, the Sonance invisible speakers sound really rather good, and because they're enormous, and for reference, this is the 8-inch size, and there is a much larger 10-inch size, and there is such a large amount of surface area, these provide really decent low levels of bass, almost eliminating the need for a subwoofer. But apart from the bass, how do they sound? Well, actually, there's really great clarity. You'd almost think that a speaker that was behind a wall that had plaster in front of it could sound muffled or distorted, but no, the Sonance Visible series of speakers sound crystal clear, and they also have really well-defined mid-range. And they really do deliver on that wide soundstage, because the room feels as if it's filled completely with the sound from the speakers. Well, the 6-inch model starts at around $2,500 and rises to around $5,000 for the 10-inch model. Of course, you're going to need a pair of these, and you're also going to need an amp. Let's say it's the Sonance amp, which is around $1,200. And if you want to have sound behind you, rear surround speakers, then you're also going to want another pair of speakers. Let's say you take a pair of the 10-inch and then you take a pair of the 6-inch and then you get 2 amps. It's kind of around $15,000, $16,000 all up for just the speakers. And then of course they need to be installed, and this can take up to a day. But of course this is all worth it because you get the great convenience and great sound quality of an installed system. Now, if this sounds like something that you would like to do and you're in the Auckland region or for New Zealand itself, then call the guys and girls at the Sound Store here in Auckland, because as you can see, they're quite capable of installing this kind of system. As I'm actually in their showroom right now, it's been a great privilege to hear these invisible speakers installed as they should be, because it's given me a real sense of what invisible speakers can be and in-wall speakers can be. And thank you very much to the Sound Store for inviting me along to take a look at these today. Look, that brings us on to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification icon. It helps a lot because I want to grow this channel more and more. So the more of you guys and girls that subscribe, the easier that's going to be. Leave a comment down below and share this with your friends, and I'll be along soon with more great content.